Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's really special, first of the year. So just for our audience, in the room and then overseas that we're recording for the special series Extras with Experts. Where are you from and what do you do?
Hi Tatiana, yes, thank you for having me. My name's Andy Kemp and I come from Australia originally, but on my day job I work at HSBC, where I'm the head of growth in one of our open banking initiatives.
It sounds very exciting. Pretty special to have you tonight. Always really special to have you tonight. So, you know what? Tonight the theme is what will actually unlock open banking. So, how would you say, what has been achieved so far when it comes to open banking adoption?
Well, I think it's really clear in the industry that it's been a roaring success, I think at least. There's now hundreds of startups working in the aggregation space, credit decision space, and even payments that has really been started and unlocked from open banking. I think the industry is also really clear that it is almost taking off. I've not seen many hockey stick-like graphs like the one we've got with the open banking API calls. In June 2018, we had 2 million calls as in the industry, and in November we had 215 million calls. And I don't know many industries that have 100 times growth in the course of a year and a half that you wouldn't think are bedding down well. Was it an overnight success? Absolutely not, but not many things are. We think that the benefits and I guess the impact that open banking has will, I think, be underestimated in the long run, but overestimated in the short run. And I think we're seeing that in the industry. Is there more to be done? Absolutely, but that's why we're here.
It's really interesting. I think, Lisa, what should we expect in 2020? So define some key trends for our audience.
The key trends in 2020. What I'd personally say, I think, and we're seeing at the firm, is I think open banking will continue to bed down in the industry. I think really interesting will be the application of open banking to many other industries. Australia, from the consumer data right, we're starting to see the application across other utilities, and I'm fascinated to see how open banking in the UK will spread out just out of financial services. That's my prediction for 2020. Will it happen in 2020? Maybe I've overestimated it.
Well, thank you very much. It's quite brave, and to be honest, we'll see. We've got 12 months to see it. Talking about the UK, and we know that, and we're kind of proud that the UK has been setting the tone for the rest of the world when it comes to open banking, implementation of PSD2. What should we be doing as an industry to kind of keep that lead? Because some people would describe we've been making baby steps. So some people are saying actually now it's about getting that baby to walking before running. So what would you say is what should we be doing to keep that lead?
Well, I don't have children of my own, so I'm not sure about the baby analogy, but I do think that the industry has made really large steps in the UK. But I also don't think we can cast any doubt that other markets in the world have led in other ways, but I do think the UK has led in very specific ways. I'm interested to see where it goes from here, and I think it's just a matter of time before we start to see the fruits of our labour over the past 2, maybe even 4 years since the remedies came out. Have we made baby steps? No. Have we made big strides in other directions? I think so, yes.
Well, again, some would say that 2020 is all about use cases and implementation. So what kind of exciting, innovative projects should we be expecting this year?
This year, I think it has to come down to hopefully the year of payments. There's been a lot of work on the aggregation, credit decisioning, making use of AIS functionality in open banking, and we've not yet gotten into the right space. And I think that's got to be somewhere where we face into in 2020. The use cases are there. Are they as clear as we thought they might be, or as is mentioned in the Open Finance paper? Probably not, but let's see. I mean, if I could guess what innovation was, I'd probably be doing a very, very different job.
So where do you see the value of the evenings like tonight? How can we help, that open banking adoption, what we're now talking actually open finance, how can we support that?
Yeah, I think the OBE plays a really important and fruitful role for industry participants to be able to get together. It's unique for me to speak with my peers across the different industry to find out what is happening, what's been released recently. And I think that cross-pollination really works. And I think it's actually what works and enables the UK to be more competitive as well. If I look at my peers across into Europe or into Australia, for example, because they don't have as many bodies such as the OBIE or the OBE, bringing in the ability to speak to different industry participants, I don't think they're moving as fast as they possibly could. Not to say that there's not plenty of people and organisations doing this work, but I think the OBE does a pretty good job.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us.
Awesome. Thanks,
Thanks.
Tatiana.